Our strategy is about developing an efficient gas market in Ukraine to attract enough of suppliers, not just from Russia, but from Europe as well. And in order to do it, we have a number of condition precedents. One of the most important ones is that we have to unblock all the existing interconnectors with EU member states. First of all, with Slovakia. We have a huge pipeline connecting Ukraine to Slovakia. Unfortunately, it's being blocked by Gazprom. That's why we needed to build a bypass, but it's a smaller pipe. And as soon as we're able to use the main interconnector for physical reverse flows and for virtual reverse flows, so-called backhaul, our security of supply and in general liquidity of the market will improve significantly. Unfortunately, because of the economic problems, the government has to increase the rent or royalty payment, subsoil tax basically, for gas produced in Ukraine. Currently, there is a plan to reduce it back to the previous level. And that is why we hope that there will be more or less attractive taxation regime for investments into gas production in Ukraine. Apart from it, currently the tax regime for all the imports is more or less like a typical one, or there were no changes in taxation with regard to imports. And mainly the bottleneck was, as I mentioned, this interconnector issue with Slovakia. With the help from the European Commission, we have unfortunately again, we have regular political consultations in different levels with regard to gas supplies from Russia. Currently, we have everything agreed for this last quarter of 2015, but we will need to have another round of negotiations in December for the price and probably some other conditions for gas supplies in Q1 2016. And probably we will have this kind of process involving the European Commission and political consultations at least till the time when we have the decision of the Stockholm Court of Arbitration on our gas contracts with Gazprom, both for gas sales and purchase contract and for the gas transit contract. I guess that the lesson, again, we learned, and probably we can share this lesson with others, is that gas is just a commodity, and everybody should try to get rid of politics in the gas business. And as soon as you get rid of politics, gas becomes a much more attractive source of energy. Again, it suits the best interest of consumers and other gas market participants. Again, and the gas market participants can plan their business based on more or less standard business conditions rather than like guessing on political will of certain players. So from that perspective, I guess we are probably one of the best advocates for further liberalization of gas markets, integration of still probably secluded European gas markets. And we believe that that's the future of the gas industry, not just even in Europe, but in the whole world. In speaking of our particular situation, first of all, we have quite sizable local production, and we as Naftogaz, we produce 15 BCM of gas per year, and we have very concrete plans to increase our local production. Also, private producers in Ukraine have been increasing their production for the last 4 years, and unfortunately, because of this taxation issues. This year, their volumes were more or less flat, but we do hope that when these taxes are back to the previous level, they will increase production as well. Also, we expect more of foreign investments coming to Ukraine into the gas sector, because with the development of the gas market and in general market economy, more open economy, it would increase attractiveness of Ukraine for foreign investors. On top of local production, we think that again we should diversify supplies of pipeline gas through Russia, again through our interconnectors with European countries. We're also more or less actively working on some new projects, like for example new pipeline in Poland that would connect us with LNG terminal in Poland, and also through some pipelines to LNG terminal in the Baltic. Also, we're thinking about some kind of cooperation with producers in the Black Sea region, and we're also looking at some options of bringing LNG to Odessa. It's our southern city, with deliveries either from some producing regions in the Black Sea, or for example, if we're able to solve the problem with the Bosphorus, then probably even LNG coming through the Mediterranean Sea. So we think that we should keep all our options open, but still we have some priorities. It's local production first of all.